On today's episode of This Old Hot Rod, we trace cardboard. Driver's side floor well. How's it going, everybody? It's Mike with This Old Hot Rod. It is Sunday afternoon. Last week's episode was the grill shell and lowering the radiator. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Today's video, we're working inside the car. What I need to do inside the car is I need to finish the front floors. Now, I've really been on the fence with doing these floors. The reason why is I don't know what the next person is going to do in regards to their pedal assembly, brakes. I don't know if the person who purchases this car will do a single pedal setup, or if they will do like a single pedal below the floor, like an early Ford style pedal. Obviously there won't be a clutch, it'll just be a single pedal with a master cylinder, or they have the option to do like a firewall mount or a hanging pedal assembly for the brakes. So I've been hesitant to do the floor pans on the front of the car because I don't want to make more work for the next person, but I think by not doing it, I'm probably creating even more work. And the reason why is because the firewall. I cut the firewall out to recess the motor back because of obviously the space issues, and I think that if I don't fill in the firewall and do a transmission tunnel and in the floor pans, I think that's going to be a lot more work than for the next guy versus a brake pedal and not knowing which way he wants to go. If the next person who buys this car wants to go through the floor, then they just simply lift the body off, do a brake assembly on the frame, you know, some type of a box type of situation, cut a hole and put the body back down, or they just build it inside the car, lift the gas tank out so you have good access to the back of the firewall and go that route. If it were me, that would be what I would do. That keeps the floor wide open and just have a hanging pedal assembly. But again, that's me. So moving forwards, I thought, well, I better just do the floors and button up the finish the firewall, because I think, again, I keep saying in a lot of these videos, I'm trying to add value to the car. I really want to try to get the car to a point where an average person, not to say I'm above average, but an average person that wants to get into a hot rod, that isn't as knowledgeable or maybe just as experienced, they could get in and do the small things, and pretty simply with some Googling and getting on YouTube, they would be able to basically finish this car and not need all types of metal shaping tools. So today's video, what I'm going to be working on is getting the two floor pans, driver's side and the passenger side. I already have the driver's side template done. I'm going to transfer it over onto a piece of sheet metal. The sheet metal is 18 gauge sheet metal, same as the rest of the car, all the work that I've done. So I've already done that. I don't want to bore you guys with the template process. I used to always do that on my videos, and I think people, you know, it was just a video. People appreciated it, I guess, but it's more work for me to do it all with the videos and stuff, trying to get this car done. So I figured just do the metal shaping part, get the, you know, the metal cut, templated, get everything cut. And I figured just skip out the template process. Everybody knows how to use a pair of scissors and either paper or cardboard. I got my template, I'm going to transfer it over onto my sheet metal. I already cleaned it up with my Contour SCT, my Eastwood tool. It's a great tool if you guys are into this stuff. Really, it's an expensive tool, but it's worth it. And they, every now and then, they have sales, discount sales, and then with like free shipping, that's the time to buy it. You'll definitely save some money. So I already got my sheet metal cleaned up with that tool, and now what I need to do is I just got to get my template laid out, trace it real quick, get as much of it cut out on my jump shear as I can, and then trim up the rest of the edges that I need to. and then get the driver's side at least set in place, and then start working on the passenger side. They're not even, they're not exact because of the shape of the transmission. As far as like the body itself goes, they're pretty close, but it's the shape of the transmission that's going to kind of dictate the difference between the passenger side and the driver's side. So let's get to work. I'll get the driver's side done. Should be pretty quick. So let's get what I can get cut in my jump shear. So it'll be this straight edge, and that's pretty much it. After that, it's going to be cutting it with either my plasma cutter or my cutoff wheel. So I'm just going to do the jump shear real quick, then we'll come back and we'll get the rest of it cut. Alright, so I just got cut. Used my jump shear real quick, did what I could. Try to make fast work of this little project today. I'm a little tired today, so that's the piece so far. I just got to notch this little piece out and notch a piece out up top. And then from there, we will try to get it fitted in the car, see how it fits. If it fits good, I'm just going to tack weld it in place like I usually do, or what I have on the rest of the car. We'll see. But anyways, let me just get this trimmed out real quick. Use my cutoff wheel. Alright, get this clamped in place. I spun my table around. So all my tools are on different sides. Get my butt plugs in my ear. Let's see how she fits. Now you can see I added some structure in here. I had mentioned it on another video. This is the structure that was behind the rear cross member. I had to remove that, and when I did, it wasn't going to fit anymore, so I just kept it together. This is right where the gas tank mounts were. I just cut it in half and then used one half on the passenger, one half on the driver's side. I just wanted to reuse it instead of wasting it. And then I had a little left over, and I added the structure underneath here when I cut the floor apart for the transmission. Alright. As always, it'll need a little bit of tweaking. That's to be expected. So it looks like it's up front. Looks like it needs to go forwards about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a touch more. So let's go trim this out real quick and see if we can get that fitted into place. Now I do have to make new body mounts. I am going to have to make new body mounts because I ended up moving the body forward, so now they don't line up where the cross member is, but that's not a big deal. That's easy enough. I would like to retain the mounts that I used. I'd hate to have this hole here and not use it. I mean, it would be simple enough to just put a mount somewhere else on the frame, but I'd just rather use these holes. Alright, let me get this trimmed down. I'll be right back. We're getting closer. A little bit more. And there we go. Clean up a little bit of weld right there. They're a little tall. I want to finish weld all this here real quick so I can get this finish welded, and then I'll get this panel put in place. It fits, it's just sitting on top of those welds. So I'm going to clean up those welds real quick. So the remainder of the welds I'll weld from underneath. I'll just do, some spots here and there just to kind of button it up. But again, just trying to do this real quick. I don't want to weld this floor down completely because I don't know if the person that buys the car is going to want to change something. So if I do that, it's just creating more work for him. So I am gonna add some more welds to it, but not a ton. So all right, now we're gonna do the passenger side. I want to clean up some of the bumpy welds over here before I get started, while I have everything here with me. And we'll get the driver's side done, and then we'll get to work on the tunnel. I have a tunnel already that I got from somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. I'm going to see if it'll fit. I don't know that it will. If it doesn't fit, I'll build a new one. If it does fit, we'll use it. Just smoothing out the welds just with a flap disc, just to try to make sure that the sheet metal lays flat. That's all. Not doing much more than that. Get a little bit of weld right here. Passenger side templated and put on there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to flip my template over. Like I said, it is a little bit different, so I do have to make a couple changes to it. Grab my marker. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to need to add some metal and take away a little bit of metal on this one. We have this vacuum tube here for the, I believe it's for the like shifting for the transmission. I'm not 100% sure. I may end up moving that. I'm not sure. If I can, I will. But got to figure something out with that. Maybe try to just bend it. But like I said, this side is a little bit different. So yeah, make some changes and we'll get it put in the car. Just a little bit tired today, I think. That's trying to get something done. Don't want to waste a day. Typical me. But I am feeling a little tired. So this pipe is probably one of the major pieces that's an issue. I think what I'm going to do is just undo this one bolt. Maybe see if I can move this clamp, because if I remove this bolt, I can push this tube down. I mean, I guess I could just bend it. I don't want it to pinch. I don't want to pinch it, you know. I'm sure you guys will all tell me what that is. All right, so what we need to do now is I got my template. I got a couple measurements where I need to add metal. So I'll do that once I get it transferred over onto the sheet metal. I need to clean up a piece of sheet metal real quick. Take me a quick minute. Then we'll get this thing all laid out, cut out, put in the car, tack welded in place. And then from there, I got to get to work on removing the gas tank, cutting the bottom of the gas tank out, but I got to get to work on the firewall. I'm kind of tired today, so I don't know how far I'm going to go with this. I may just get these two floor pieces done and kind of call it quits for the day. Just not feeling it today. That doesn't happen very often, but today it is. I try to make the most of my weekend and every day, to be honest with you, but I worked a lot this week, so put a long day in the shop yesterday. I was up late last night, so it's catching up to me. I'm getting old. Like I said earlier in the video, they're a little bit pricey, but I'll tell you what, it's worth every penny when you're doing this type of work. 60 degrees in the garage today. What? Amazing. Okay. Let's get this transferred over. Add the metal that I need to add. And then, I don't know. Like I said, I might call it a day. So we need to add jump half here. Let's get this jump cut out on the jump shear and we'll get it installed. let's see. I think I screwed up. No, I guess not. Yeah, so it's hitting that pipe. Let me grab a, what is that, 9/16. We'll get that out of there. So I'll just reshape this and put that back on after the fact. It's definitely a vacuum. There's a vacuum canister on the transmission. So, alright, need to make a couple quick adjustments on this. Fire up the welder. Alright, so that's that. I'm gonna grab the transmission tunnel that I already have, that I bought from somewhere, I don't even know where. I'm gonna set it on there and see if it fits. I think it's gonna be a little narrow. I mean, it's not horrible right there. A little narrow. So I just kind of bent it a little bit over my chest, and it's a little long. Obviously it would have to be shortened. There's no need to have this if you don't need it, but I mean it would certainly get me ahead, but I don't know that it's necessarily the way to go. So if you look at the height of this right here, I'm stealing a lot of foot room, which I guess right here really doesn't matter. This would be a lot easier to use. So let's so if you look at the height of that versus what's there, I don't know that necessarily it makes sense to use it. I don't know what the shifters are for these transmissions either. So I imagine the shifter would probably mount somewhere in this location and have some type of a bracket with like a lever or a cable. I'm not sure, but again, that's going to be for the next guy. It's kind of why I'm hesitant to go much further, because I don't know who's going to buy the car. Boy, that would make my life easy. It's not exact, but it would make my life easy. Yeah, see, it's a little too narrow here, so I'd have to add a piece onto the back. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold off. I think I'm just going to make my own. It's going to extra work, but it is what it is. Alright, let's move this to the side. Alright, everyone. Whoop. Alright, everyone. I think that's where I'm just going to wrap up this video. Like I said earlier, I'm beat. I'm freaking tired, so I'm not going to use that transmission tunnel or the transmission cover, whatever you call it. It just doesn't fit right, and it doesn't really make sense for me to use it. So I'm just going to make my own. And that being said, I'm going to end this video right here, and we will continue to the video part 2. So we're just going to carry on, and we'll just go right into the next video. The next video is going to be starting the firewall and the transmission tunnel. The firewall will be first. We're going to pull the tank out, pull the windshield out, pull the tank off, and get into the firewall and the transmission hump. After that, well, the body's still on the car. Probably going to lift the car up, put it up on jack stands as high as I can, and I'll do my patch panels. Once the patch panels are done, that'll be it for inside the car. I'll get the body off, it'll stay off. I'll do my radius rod mounts, my radius rods, and then at that point I think I'll just get everything painted, get everything welded underneath the body of the car while it's already off. It just seems to make the most sense. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks everybody for watching, for following along. Appreciate all the support, and we'll just see you on the next video. So I hope you guys are having a good day, and spring's coming. Winter's, it's February, so a couple more months and we're going to be out driving our cars. Hopefully this thing will be gone to its new home by then. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.